Our next talk is a student-led experiment performed by students from the University of Khartoum, Faculty of Medicine, in collaboration with doctors at the University of Cambridge. 5 students will present the work as a team exercise. The work and the program have been supervised by Dr. Wael Bashiri, endocrinologist and clinical lecturer, Institute of Metabolic Science, Department of Medicine, at University of Cambridge.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be invited to come and present to you today, so thank you very much. I stand here on behalf of friends and colleagues from the University of Cambridge School of Clinical Medicine, amongst whom are people actually amongst the audience, like Jafar Bisawi, who helped a lot in achieving this project, and others who couldn't be here today. And I also stand on behalf of friends and colleagues from the University of Khartoum Faculty of Medicine, some of whom will be here, the students from the University of Khartoum who came all the way to help me deliver this project. So perhaps I would want to start with the current position of the University of Cambridge in the national and international ranking system by the Times, which is first and second internationally. The process of placing universities and institutions into the international ranking uses the methodology, or they adopt the methodology of the institution's achievement in teaching, research, citations, industrial income to the country, international reputation, and more recently, the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Now, these are goals that the United Nations will want to achieve by the year 2030. Amongst these are SDG number 3, which is good health and well-being, and also SDG number 17, which is partnership and global partnership and collaboration between institutions. So that's an important topic which we would like to capitalize on. So I would leave you to be the judge of where we are in terms of Sudan in the international ranking system. There's a lot to be done here to improve this situation. So as a reminder, I graduated from Khartoum, I work in Cambridge, and I've got colleagues and friends from all of these 3 institutions that helped deliver this project. The students who will present are led by Dr. Mohammed Anwar, who is a 5th year medical student. He will deliver the next stage of the talk, followed by his colleagues.
Hello everyone, I am a 5th year medical student. So medical education and training varies considerably across the world, with various teaching methodologies and techniques have been utilized in the medical education. But for the purpose of our project, we introduced a practice-based learning approach. From a great help of doctors from Cambridge University Hospital, we implemented an old model of rural medical mission in Sudan and modified in a way that set the foundation for a sustainable and reproducible model of undergraduate medical education and charity. Perhaps during the Sudanese Revolution, or the blessed Sudanese Revolution, forming such international collaborations was not that easy. But I think it was more important and necessary at that time. Also, I want to emphasize that fostering the relationship with Cambridge University was the key process, or as we call it in medicine, the resonating step in the accomplishment we have done. We conducted a free mobile clinics. We also conducted a health education, and we contributed to the improvement of the health system of the targeted area. We also gave the student the ability to debate their knowledge, to share their experience, to improve their organization skills and research skills, which was essential for the accomplishment we have done. Now I'm going to leave you with my colleague Mazin to tell you about the methodologies, how we did this.
The city of the project was done in Mary, which is in the northern state of Sudan. Our team was based from different medical personnel, from doctors to students to laboratory specialists. The selection of our students was based on randomization mainly, but of course in a scientific method. As you can see here, this is the old model. which was based mainly on hierarchical structure principle. But now, on our new model, we emphasized on teamwork principle, which was more effective and it was really much more practical. As you can see here, this is the workforce, as I said, different medical personnel. There was multiple students, doctors, consultants, pharmacists, lab techs. And this is, of course, Meru in Sudan. For the fundings, you got fundings from local assets, University of Khartoum, and the alumni, also from Meru Medical City, from Cambridge Global Health Partnership, and online fundings from GoFundMe. So now I'm going to hand over to my colleague Sawazin, who's going to tell you more about the educational part of the project.
Hello everyone, I'm a fifth year medical student. So regarding our educational program, we aim to deliver a comprehensive educational program for Sudanese medical students. The educational program was set by doctors from Cambridge University Hospital based on the literature and the educational needs mentioned by students in the application form. We had 700 applicants listed their educational needs, and to analyze these data, we use text analysis software. Here is a word clone map reflecting the most mentioned words by students. So according to those results, we focus on three main areas, which were history taking, clinical examination, and communication skills, including breaking bad news. Doctors from UK and Sudan were selected based on teaching interest and teaching track records. Here are some educators from Sudan who helped a lot in the success of our project, and the project helped them to practice with multiple and different teaching methods. After the medical mission, we planned to do some educational session at the university, but unfortunately we couldn't due to the closure of the university. This book was sent to students as pre-reading material. So in order to ensure the good delivery of the educational program and healthcare services, we implemented the triage concept during the medical days for the first time in Sudan. So with the triage model, patient either have been seen in the clinic by doctors or go directly to the patient education to avoid clogging up the process and to allow more time for teaching. The clinical data were collected by students under doctor supervision using triage forms, which granted that patients have been seen by doctors according to how urgently they needed to be seen. Moreover, we use multiple data collection tools, including triage documents, Google Forms, logbooks, and we had an app during the mission to organize everything. Now I will give the mic to Awab to tell you about the results of this project.
Hello everyone, I'm a third year medical student. Now moving on to the results. These are glimpses of the educational activities take place in Meru Medical Mission. Part of those were guest presentation presented by the students, and teaching during the various activities took place in the center of the program and the villages as well. And here is a bar chart reflecting the student satisfaction about the educational activities using the 5-pointed Likert scale assessment. From the lowest satisfaction of the student up to 5, the highest satisfaction of the student. Also, this is a laboratory setting, the pharmacy setting as well, and their satisfaction measure also. In addition to all of that, we had an overall assessment for the program, pre and post intervention. Before the medical mission, pre-participation questionnaires were distributed to the students, year 5 and 6 students, in the form of confidence scale assessment. After the medical mission, questionnaire responses were collected from the students, also in the form of confidence scale assessment, and using the Likert scale assessment. Here is a bar chart comparing the confidence responses of the students before the medical mission and after the medical mission. Before is shown in red and after in blue. So you can see there is a remarkable rightward shift in the whole graph. Taking, for example, the history taking in your left top corner, Here is the graph show that before the medical mission, the students weren't that confident of their performing history taking and so about 80% of the students gives the lowest mark of the scale 1 and 2, but after the medical mission, as you see here, 80% of the students give the highest mark. So you can see there's an overall improvement in the confidence of the student. So in general, a student reported an overall improvement in the communication skills, doing clinical examination and history taking also. So another point is the students and educationalists, all of them have conveyed a positive feedback in selecting their strong will to build this project involving other areas of Sudan. So now, as for the clinical side of the results, I will hand over to my colleague Manaz to continue.
Hello, I'm a fourth-year medical student, and now we move on to the clinical results. As you see on your left-hand side, we have a scatter plot graph showing capillary glucose levels. On the x-axis, there is the number of patients, which was 680 patients that we've seen. On the y-axis are the capillary glucose levels of those patients. As you see, most of them fell within the normal range. However, there were some hyperglycemic cases, which may indicate or underlie newly discovered or cases of diabetes. On your right-hand side is a Buxton-Whittaker graph showing blood pressure levels. On this x-axis are the 6 villages that we've been to, and on this y-axis are the representations for the blood pressure levels. Most of them also fell within the normal range. There were some hypertensive cases and some hypotensive cases. Okay. So now, this is just one example of one of the things that we ran up into in Mary, a clinical vignette which represents a public health issue. A 6-year-old boy with chronic perineal pruritus, PR bleeding, and anemia. On investigation, we got this. Anyone remembers what that is? Okay, that's a light microscopy of a stool sample showing the egg of Strongyloides stercoralis. The boy has been treated with albendazole to prevent the recruitment, and his 5 siblings were also treated with albendazole for cross-contamination. They got a public health session for food handling and hand hygiene. Okay, something more cheerful now. This chart shows the accommodation markers presented by the students. 93% of the students gave the accommodation a mark of 5, which was the highest mark. And those are the markers for the catering, showed in this graph, which were also very high. Here, I have a video made by one of the professionals from Cambridge University Hospital, showing his views around the medical mission.
So earlier this year, me and a group of doctors from Cambridge travelled to Sudan for a medical mission trip. With a team of Sudanese doctors, healthcare professionals and medical students from Khartoum University, we set up 6 medical clinics in villages in northern Sudan. This is the Sudan Medical Adventure. Day 1, we arrive in Khartoum and head to a restaurant in the city centre.
Welcome to Sudan. This is our first day in the trip.
We've all just landed and we're having our first organisational team meeting with the rest of the doctors. We're all saying
We drive through the city, across the River Nile to our host family's house.
And I apparently runs the entire length of the country pretty much, so we'll be seeing it at various different points in our journey. It's very exciting.
And then get demolished and beat up by some medical students before leaving for bed. Day 2, we wake at the crack of dawn and head to Khartoum University Medical School with boxes full of drugs and other medical supplies. Right, so this here is our box of drugs and syringes and things.
They came from different companies. They have supported us with some financial support.
We make friends with some of the students there who treat us to some traditional Sudanese food.
Cheers.
Oh, they're nice. Then we load up the bus and join the 75 students and 20 doctors, lab technicians and pharmacists and head 500 kilometers north to Meroe.
So we're about halfway through the journey. We've been driving for the last 4 hours. And all there is around us is just desert.
After 8 hours of driving through the desert, we arrive at the resort, debrief and head to our room.
Yes, mate. Oh, we've got balcony as well. It's going to be a solid spot to fly the drone from tomorrow morning.
Day 3 is when the fun really starts. We split up into 3 teams, each with 25 medical students and a handful of doctors and lab technicians. My team drives an hour through the desert to reach a village called Village 5. We set up our clinic at the local primary school, and for the rest of the day, medical students see all of the patients with our team of doctors overseeing the process.
Alright, so this is the school that we've been in for the past day, and here's how the patient flow works. So the patients start off in the triage area over there, and that's where they get seen by some of our doctors and some of our fourth year medical students, and they take a quick history, do their vital signs, so their pulse, blood pressure, respiratory rate, and kind of triage them as to how urgently they need to be seen. Then, once the patient has been triaged, they get given this form, and they can check one of the clinic rooms over there or over there. And we've been in these clinic rooms all day, just kind of seeing the patients as they come in, taking your full history, doing the examination, and then some patients just need reassurance and a bit of analgesia. They can get that from the pharmacy, which is over there. We've got a pharmacist, we've got a supply of drugs, but then some patients need further investigations. So then we send them over to our hematology and biochemistry lab that we've got set up, and that's where we can do things like full blood count, urea electrolytes, urinalysis, fecal analysis, that sort of stuff. And then they come back to the clinic, and then we sort them out based on the results of those investigations.
So this is actually a pretty great setup. The medical students see the patients and talk to them in Arabic, and then when they're done, they present the case to one of the doctors, and we double check the management plan. This means that overall we provide a really good, cost-effective service for patients who don't normally get to see doctors, and at the same time we're helping train up the medical students in their clinical reasoning and physical examination skills. And rather than just providing a medical and educational service, we also provide some entertainment for local school children by busting out the drone and letting them play with it a little bit. Day 4 is our final clinical day, and so our 3 teams drive to 3 more villages in northern Sudan.
Alright, so here we are in the village of Al-Bahik. We came here this morning, and again it's the same sort of as yesterday. We now have 2 triage rooms, one for the men and one for the women, and then we've got 2 clinic rooms that they get triaged into, and we've got our pharmacy, and we've got our lab going on. Overall, it's been pretty chill today. We don't have quite as many patients as we had yesterday, so there was quite a good opportunity to teach some of the medical students to run through the cardiovascular, the cranial nerves, the examination. And these guys have been really friendly. They cooked food for us, which was very tasty.
And they're so generous. They gave us kind of brunch, different types of meat. And there's this ammonia. It's actually sheep intestines.
So, with our belly comfortably full with sheep intestine, we drive back to the resort to music. We get together with the other teams, share some presentations about interesting cases that we've all seen across the 2 days, and Roberto's team deliver a performance of a traditional Arabic song for everyone.
Alright, so it's the final day of the trip. We've done our 2 days of the medical mission, and this morning we spent a couple of hours doing some lectures for the medical students. We did a talk about research methods in medicine, we did talk about how to prepare for exams, such as the postgraduate medical exams like the MRCP, and now we're going to spend the rest of the day just hanging out with the students and the other doctors. At the moment, we're by the River Nile. Is this the River Nile? And then we're going to head back to part 2. It's going to be a fun little bus journey, hopefully see some pyramids on the way, have a nice social bonding experience.
So that was our medical adventure in Sudan. Over the 5 days, we explored some of the beautiful landscapes. We saw and treated hundreds of patients who would have otherwise had very limited access to healthcare, and we made friends with some absolutely wonderful pharmacists, technicians, medical students, and doctors along the way. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more about the medical mission, or if you'd like to find out more about how you can get involved with doing cool stuff like this, there's going to be a link in the video description that will give you some more information. If you like the video, please do give it a cheeky thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please consider doing so. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
So in terms of have we actually achieved any collaboration or friendship between the 2 institutions? As it stands for now, we had talks and communication with the Medical Ethics and Professionalism Department in the Clinical School in the University of Cambridge, led by Dr. Diane Wood, who is the Dean of the Medical School, and they agreed to come with us to 2020 to deliver some lectures and start the process of friendship collaboration. We started a student observer program through which the students currently in the country are coming to undertake 6 weeks of academic and clinical work. In addition, the collateral aspect of that is taking students from the University of Cambridge to Khartoum, and when we announced that, we received 150 emails of interest. So we will still work on that. They will definitely represent an increased representation in 2020 and thereon. External examiners, that will be the next step, and others. We have also published this work in the World Association of Sustainable Development and presented in the United Nations. And we've got a copy of this presentation right on our table there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Wael and the team. This is really, really impressive, and well done to our medical students for such impressive work. I'm going to pass the questions to the audience if anyone has any questions.
My question might be a bit out of point, but I have looked at these pictures of young people, while the young boys or young men were wearing t-shirts, flaunting their t-shirts and the latest fashionable European gear. The young women were well wrapped up and wearing this awful tarha over the head and well wrapped around the neck, which is what we call a hijab. Was that a chance or design? Were they ordered to do it, or they had to do it because that's the way things are?
Controversial question, thank you very much. No one was forced to wear it, anyone has completely their own choice.
I'm really impressed. This is fantastic, and I think this is a step forward for many, many things to come, and many good things to, especially in the educational sector. So I just want to know what's your future plan, or how do you see yourself in the next maybe few years?
So again, excellent question. Thank you very much. So at the minute we're trying to flourish this relationship, because from international friendship and collaboration comes opportunities. For instance, we wouldn't have had 150 students from Cambridge applying and wanting to come to Sudan without having done a project as such. If we can get our teachers in the universities, not just in Khartoum, in Jazeera, and everywhere, to develop themselves, because they're the core for educating and teaching younger generations. So that will be the target, to get the teachers involved at this stage. But again, we've got a lot of ideas, and I've got short time to answer the question, so I'm going to stop it here.
Thank you very much for that impressive presentation. My question is, what I've just realized. I felt when you were showing the medical city in Marawi, and then you showed where the delivery and where you're seeing patients, and the accommodation people went to, there's a big difference. I felt poverty and I felt deprivation in some areas, while there was luxurious other areas, so I'm not sure where the delivery of service is. So where these patients are seen, why this big variation between both settings? So I'm kind of a bit confused what is a medical city is all about, and what is this? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It's a completely valid point. We went, and obviously the accommodation, as you've seen, was impressive. People spend money into accommodation and buildings and stuff. Whereas when you go to a local health center in the city of Al-Bakhit, for instance, you walk into a massive sand castle. It's completely deserted. No attention to be paid to these centers. We had to actually avoid the health centers and go and work in schools, primary schools, to have a better setting, at least a clean area to work at. So perhaps that's part of the problem that we will need to address, to channel the attention and the work and the money and everything towards school and education, hospitals, etc. So that's a very valid point.
Thank you very much. Very impressive presentation and project. I have two questions. The first one, did you do any health education for the public? You mentioned the public health problem and the infectious disease, and you've done that on the family. My second question is, did you feed back to the University of Khartoum in terms of modifying their curriculum to follow this approach, which is skill-based approach? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So we've dedicated sections in each medical day for medical education of the public. not just addressing infectious diseases, but perhaps other aspects like female genital mutilation, etc. So that's a well set up program, but we haven't got time to show all the results. And with regards to conveying this back to the local government, to the at the town, and also to the University of Khartoum, and the body of the students in the University of Khartoum in particular, which is a Rabta, that comes out. That has taken place, and we've taken all these papers and stuff and put them actually into their resources. And I know people were saying this is a nice work, etc. It's not just my work, it's everybody's work. Mostly the students, mostly people from Sudan, from locally, and friends from the university as well. So I can't take the credit for this. Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا وائل and the team. يعني I'm sure everyone here is really impressed about this project. As usual, the youth are quite inspiring. Thank you very much, Yani. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you.